My name's Dante Workman. I go to Deary High School.
My name's Emily Modern. I go to Deary High School. I'm a senior.
I like data science just because it's a lot of project-based. I'm very creative in those ways. And so I got to personalize everything into what I was interested in, which I greatly enjoyed compared to other math classes where it's here's what you need to learn and here's ways to use it.
I loved it. It was a fantastic course. We learned so much. It was very different from the math courses that we've previously taken, because with other math courses, everything always had an answer. Even if it was impossible to solve, that's still an answer. Mm-hmm. And so it was just a lot of doing the math and just do the equation, do whatever you had to do. But with this class, there was so many things that we couldn't quite answer. And so it was difficult in how to retrain our minds to think there's an answer to there's not an answer, and you have to be okay with it. And then also just being okay with your question can have more questions. And so learning to look at news articles and say, is that really, is that what the data says, or is that what you want the data to say? And so looking past the news title and past the news articles and learning to look at the data in the bigger picture.
Can you compare your data science experience to your other high school math courses? How do they compare?
The previous math courses I've been through were test-based and just learning the material. And I think that stuff really helped into this course because we had to learn how to do the functions in sheets and all of those different technologies that definitely helped this class out a lot. And I think they were very, having this class was very applicable to no matter what field you're going into, it still would help.
What do you have a field you want to go into?
Radiology. I'm going to be radiology tech, hopefully.
So do you feel like the data science that you did, you'll use in radiology?
I think so, because it's a lot of statistics and math based. And I'm hoping to further studies too in data to see if there's any background in radiology that I could follow up with.
Definitely take this course or a similar course. Doesn't have to be this one, but a similar course, I would say definitely take it. It is the most useful thing I think you can get out of a high school diploma. I mean, there's so many classes that are important, English, econ, all that, but this class is something that you will use every day.
So would you say that you were engaging in real research?
Mm-hmm. It was very interesting to me though, because mental health is a very big topic, especially in athletes right in the world right now. And so I think looking into this was very interesting because it's real world and what's happening right now.
Do you think you could apply those skills that you learned to ask other research questions and find answers?
I think I could. I think I want to go further with this project too, just to see what else I could find, and more locally too, just to see what is out there compared to just what I got.
So my project was unemployment and job shortages or surpluses. And I, prior to doing this project, hadn't really thought about unemployment and if it was a problem or not, because to me, that's just always been something that's been here. It's always been in America. Even though we pride ourselves on having millions of jobs and there's a job for everyone. So I never really thought about it prior to this. And then when I was researching it and learning more about it and reading it, I would say there were many times when I was I did not think that's how that happened. I definitely thought it was another way, and I didn't even realize that I had thought that. That was just how we grew up thinking.
It was very scary, hey, we're just going to try this and see how it works. I think it was very important for us to learn this, especially us being our senior year and before going out into our specific career paths that we want to. I think this is very applicable to every student, no matter what your career path is. And I would say push forward and try to do this for your students because it's a great experience to learn right before going to college.
It's okay to be learning it with your students because a lot of the times, with Miss Proctor, we would dive into the technology and learn things that the book didn't even tell her. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be afraid that if they didn't know as much, because there's always going to be something that a student's going to teach you. But I think even if you're afraid, you should still even try and teach it, because it is going to be so useful for your students that are going into college and they may not know most of this stuff. Beforehand, I knew very little about any of this, but I think it's so important for everyone to learn about it, and it should definitely be taught in high schools everywhere. So even if you're afraid, just do it, because your kids are going to get something out of it and you're probably going to get something out of it.